look at our last worksheet for this unit, 8.x. It says find the area of each figure around your answers to the nearest 10. So really on these problems you have to identify what information do you actually have, because that's going to determine which formula you should use. So if I look at this one, and actually on all of these first ones, if I have side, angle, side, then I want to use the area formula that involves sine, where it's 1/2 side times sine of the angle. So on these first four, you're going to be using that formula throughout this problem. So on the first one here, notice how I have side, angle, side. So my area in this case will equal 1/2 8 times 6 times sine of 87 degrees. So what's nice is you can type this in right into your calculator. So I'm going to show at least the first one typed into the calculator to show you. So when I do 1/2, I go 0.5 times 8 times 6 times sine of 87 degrees. Close the parentheses, 23.967. Again, it says to round to the nearest tenth, so this should be 24.0. Our units is centimeters squared since we're talking about an area. Number 2, same process. Notice how you have side, angle, side. So my area is equal to 1/2 6 times 5 times sine of 140 degrees. So if I type that into my calculator, my area should end up equaling 9.6 inches squared. On the next one, again, notice how we have side, angle, side. So my area is going to equal 1/2 8 times 3 times sine of 98 degrees. So my area, if I type in this one into my calculator, 0.5 times 8 times 3 times sine of 98 degrees, ends up equaling 11.9 yards squared. Don't forget we are square units since we are multiplying two sides together, and we're talking area, 2 dimensions. So last one, side, angle, side. So my area is going to equal 1/2 7 times 4 times sine of 96 degrees. Plug that one into my calculator, and my area ends up being, well, that's interesting. Oh, that was 98, 96, sorry. Your area ends up being 13.9 inches squared. All right, on the last four, here you're given all three sides. So here's where you're going to use Huron's formula. So your area formula for these is going to be the square root of your semi-perimeter, and then your semi-perimeter minus each of the three sides. So again, S is where you add up the three sides and divide by 2. So we'll show you how to do this one and use of the calculator and show how we get the final answer. So on the first one, first thing I always want to find is the semi-perimeter, S. So I go 4 plus 6 plus 7 divided by 2. So that's 17 divided by 2, which is 8.5. So now for my area, we're going to take the square root, it's going to be a big value here, of 8.5, and then 8.5 minus 4, 8.5 minus 6, and then 8.5 minus 7. So I just subtract each of the sides one at a time. So, show you how you get that in your calculator. Take my answer. So this is where parentheses can come into play big time. So it's going to be the square root. Now, I'm going to take 8.5 times. Notice how it's still under the square root. Put my parentheses, 8.5 minus 4, close parentheses. parentheses again, 8.5 minus 6, parentheses. Start another parentheses, 8.5 minus 7, close parentheses. So notice how I have everything just exactly, basically how I have it written. Go ahead, hit enter, get my area, 11.97, round that to the nearest tenth, ends up being 12.0, in this case, inches squared. All right, same process with number 2. Find the semi-perimeter first. So S is going to equal 6 plus 14 plus 16, all divided by 2. That one's nice because you get a semi-perimeter of a nice whole number 18. So to find this area, we're going to take the square root of 18, and then I go 18 minus 6, 18 minus 14, and 18 minus 16. So if I plug that value into my calculator and take the square root of it, I get 41.6 feet squared. All right, on the last 2, move it up here. So first, again, find the semi-perimeter. So S equals 11 plus 14 plus 16, all divided by 2. I think that ends up being 20.5. So to find my area, we're going to take the square root of 20.5 times 20.5 minus 11 times 20.5 minus 14 times 20.5 minus 16. So type that into our calculator. My area ends up being 75.5 kilometers squared. It's a big area. All right, last one, semi-perimeter first. So again, I'm going 9 plus 12 plus 16, all divided by 2. So if I add those up divided by 2, 18.5. So to get my area, we're taking the square root of 18.5 times 18.5 minus 9, 18.5 minus 12, and 18.5 minus 16. So just because I got a little time on this video here, I'll do that one more time on your calculator. So when you do the square root, you type in your first number, 18.5, and then you can either go times or you can just go right into parentheses because the calculator will assume parentheses. 18.5 minus 9, 18.5 minus 12, and 18.5 minus 16. Go ahead, hit enter. Gives me my answer of 53.4. So my area on this one, 53.4 miles squared. All right, that ends this video.